What is up everyone, Sean here, and welcome to today's episode of the Rights and Wrongs, a different kind of reviewing for this channel. Today, we're going to be going over Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite before its launch. This iconic series is about to have another game launch very soon, and there are things that are done right. However, there are definitely things wrong with the game that should be fixed when it launches and soon after. But let's go over what's done right so far. Number one that's done right so far: gameplay. This game has the potential to be really fun and a showcase for the competitive scene, especially during tournaments such as EVO. Many pros have praised its gameplay mechanics that are new to the game, such as Infinity Stones. While balance may be an issue for the future, they appear to be exciting because of its possibilities of various combos and crazy things thanks to the different effects each stone presents, such as the Box of Shame, the Red Ball, etc. They are also praising its overall gameplay feel and fun. For someone who has played it for a brief time, I can definitely see its potential. The game is going back to its 2v2 classic format, just like the very first Marvel vs. Capcom. In favor over the traditional assist system, they amped up the tag system, which really emphasizes tagging your character in while doing combos or defensive options. Because of that, the combo potential bar raises up all the higher. Number 2, the story mode. The team is putting time into actually creating a story mode involving cinematics, unlike Marvel vs. Capcom 3. I remember they were hinting the story was going to be big or something along those lines for Marvel 3, but it just turned out to be a standard arcade mode with an ending with 2 pieces of art for each character. The closest thing to a cinematic story mode were the promo videos and the opening for it. But this is going to be the first versus Capcom game with a fully scaled story mode, complete with crossover character interaction. You should also remember that it's coming with the game at launch, unlike its fellow Capcom fighting game, Street Fighter V. Unfortunately, these are the only things I can find right in my opinion or in my eyes. So in this episode, we're definitely going to see a good number of wrongs. Now for what's wrong so far: number 1, gameplay. In an attempt to make the game more accessible to the casuals, they added auto combos and simple control options. However, this presented some questionable decisions, such as getting rid of the traditional Dragon Punch motion in favor of the new down-down motion. The fact that the auto combo even exists hinders and discourages casual players from learning the deeper meta of the game, always favoring the easiest ways of winning instead of taking the time to learn moves and combos effectively, optimal ways, and solid understanding for the game. Number 2 of what's wrong so far: the visuals. This is one of the most upfront problems this game is suffering, especially during its initial promotion. While several characters look good, several others severely suffered in the face department, including Chris Redfield, Spencer, Dante, Morgan, and of course Chun-Li. This became one of the most joked about weaknesses within his community. Not too long ago, they showed off the fixed faces, including Chun-Li and Chris. Hopefully the others will get the same treatment during its launch. The stages were also a problem in the looks department because of its lack of contrast from the characters, making it harder to see. However, it appears that it's getting resolved. During my time at EVO, I didn't have much of a problem spotting the characters on the screen. Some of the stages, such as Black Panther stage, look really promising. One other complaint, at least for me, is the UI. In my opinion, it can definitely use some more work. Right now, it fulfills its minimum role. The special meter can definitely use some more pop to help the indication of its levels. The story demo did not help present its look during E3 week. The overall art style looks off in comparison with its predecessors. They are trying to emulate the cinematic look from the Marvel movies, but it winds up looking like a mobile fighting game to some, while I see it as a Hasbro fighting game. Number 3 of what's wrong is the voiceovers. One of the things I look forward to the most in fighting games is the voice acting. This vs. Capcom title has strangely disappointed me. For some reason, the overall delivery and effort seems to fall short. There are so many examples I can go over, but one instant that really ticked me off was Chun-Li's initial line during this scene. Ghost Rider's voice also disappoints me as well. To briefly explain the other examples, the battle voiceovers just lack that push and cool factor that the previous titles had. I can speak for Dante's.
Jackpot! Keeping it stylish. Jackpot. Wonderful.
Number 4 for what's wrong is the story mode. While it is nice to have this mode, some say it's overall unnecessary for these games, since the highlight of these franchises is purely gameplay and a character roster. The writing and overall voiceover performance makes it very much feel like a cheesy Saturday cartoon for young children, which contradicts the usual demographic for versus Capcom fighting games. Don't get me wrong, it will be entertaining to some degree. I feel like the need for a cinematic story mode was a weakness, taking the time away from refining the gameplay and the art direction of this Capcom title. Number 5. The marketing. Over time, its weaknesses became the #1 meme within its community, including its marketing. One example was the infamous interview featuring the producers including Combo Fiend aka Peter Rosas, where the character function meme was born, along with the reason of the lack of the X-Men. While it's not a completely demented statement, it was the wrong answer for the public eye and the casual market. Another marketing misfortune was the story demo itself. It was overall an unnecessary clunky mess because it shows off the wrong sides of what this title is really about. This demo was entirely different from the E3 demo build in terms of visuals. This demo was apparently an older build and it focused too much on the story. We already know the fact that the game is getting a cinematic story mode of some kind. Why go through the trouble of spoiling some of the cutscenes? What we really wanted to know was the feel of the game. If they literally just came with the training mode demo, that would have been enough. Or at least an offline versus demo to play with your locals. You had to fight enemies with low health and subpar AI, and you lose badly by the end of the demo. This demo was a really bad way of trying to understand and get the feel of the game's mechanics. And lastly, the initial roster and the DLC. Not too long ago, it was confirmed with the conclusion of the game launching with 30 characters in total. This cast comprises mostly with the veterans from the previous title, Ultimate Marvel 3. Only 2 new Capcom characters are coming at launch, Mega Man X and Jeddah. Sigma, who is actually a vital part of this game's story, is locked behind DLC. On the Marvel side, we have 4 new characters with Ultron, Captain Marvel, Thanos, now with a 3D model, and Gamora off the start. The seemingly negligence on the Capcom side has numbers of fans on the hate wagon. The DLC characters appear to be unavailable to unlock via in-game currency such as fight money, which means pro players and fresh faces will have to actually put money into learning future character matchups. Once again, looks like Capcom is trying to rely on DLC and esports to keep the game on the map. Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite seems to be like a 50-50 situation, whether it's going to succeed or fail hard. We really don't know how the netcode is going to be, which is another important factor. There is going to be a day 1 patch for the most part for the game, and hopefully it'll fix its visual problems. But even with its visual problems fixed, we have the characters to worry about for the future. Will the DLC be enough for its consumers? We can only find out once the game launches. And really, it's up to you guys whether the game is going to stay alive or not. For now, that's it for the rights and wrongs of Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite for the pre-launch. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, hit the thumbs up. And of course, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. And share these videos to the rest of the internet to really help out this channel, and I highly appreciate it. If you have your own rights and wrongs for Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite before its launch, leave it down below and I'd love to check them out. This has been the rights and wrongs of Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite before its launch. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Sean out.